own community here in Uganda have a number of activities that they have prepared, of course, prior to the D-Day, but also very important for us to understand why this is such an important day and why we should be celebrating it and why it is very, very important. Well, this morning I am joined by Mr. Katunsa Adonia, who is the Director, National Library of Uganda. Thank you so much for joining us this Friday morning, sir. Very, very happy to talk about this World Book and Copyright Day, and we'll be getting straight into it. What exactly is this day? What is it all about? Why do we have to know about it?
Okay, thank you so much, madam. Once again, my name is Adonia Katunsa. I'm the Director, National Library of Uganda. World Book and Copyright Day is a day that is celebrated world over every year on the 23rd of April. And this day was designated in 1995 by UNESCO to celebrate books and those that own them, those that write them. And we believe it is through books, it is through those that write it, that we can be able to improve the reading of our communities. And those that write them, of course, there are a number of them.
Yes.
We have the authors, the writers of the books. We have the publishers, those that bring the written books to the communities, and of course the various distribution channels, the bookshops, the editors, whoever plays a role in as far as coming up with a final product called a book is concerned.
Okay. Yeah. Now, speaking about the National Library of Uganda, where does it come in all of these celebrations? National
Library of Uganda, you know, we have different types of libraries. Now, the National Library of Uganda is a government body that is mandated to ensure that our national heritage, and to be particular, documented heritage, is corrected, preserved, and be able to disseminate it to our general population. Okay. Now, you know, when we talk of heritage, there are different types of heritages. Just that word heritage comes from, even in our day-to-day, when you inherit a property, yes, maybe from your father, there is a reason why you have it. So we have mainly three types of heritage. We have the tangible heritage. If, for example, you talk about like the historical sites, the tourist sites, because those are you can just touch. Yes. Then we have the natural heritage. If you talk about like the lakes, also the historical side. Then we also have the intangible heritage, and now things like music, things like our norms, our culture, very important, but they are intangible. Now, when we talk of documented heritage, the mandate of the National Library of Uganda, then we are talking about that all those types of heritage now changed into a document form. If it is a historical site, maybe a book has been written about that. So that is the heritage that we are talking about. And therefore, it is the mandate of the National Library of Uganda, on behalf of the government of Uganda, to ensure that this is corrected, preserved, not only for today's usage, but even for tomorrow and even for the future generation. Okay. And secondly, also, we are also responsible for ensuring that the reading culture of Ugandans. I mean, we've been trying to talk about that to encourage Ugandans to get into it. Yes. Okay. Now, speaking of this day, what activities do you have planned as we plan to celebrate this day? And like we said, this day is celebrated on every 23rd of April. But because we know a lot is involved, so usually the practice has been that we always organize a number of activities prior to the event, reading promotion related activities. Things like a reading tent, things like now we are talking about those different stakeholders, the publishers, some activities for them. For this year specifically, we have 4 activities that we have organized, and we always organize them the week before. Of course, we have had issue that has interrupted. So one of the activities that we have is what we call National Library of Uganda Open Day and Book Exhibition.
Yes.
Because we feel if Ugandans are to read, they need to know what is available for them. And the very reason why we are saying the Open Day, which started on Wednesday, we are inviting the general public to come around the National Library of Uganda, move around, be able to explain exactly what we do, what we have in stock for them to read.
Okay.
And of course, in addition to that, we have a book exhibition where you can come and be able to see some of the many documented heritage in the form of books, in the form of periodicals that we have for the general public, for Ugandans to access.
Okay.
And then today, we had also planned to have an activity that is targeting the communities in terms of reading and also our publishers, our authors. And this activity involved book donations, because we feel there are communities that would want to read, but they don't have what to read.
Yes.
So we have organized some good number of books for 10 communities selected from the whole of Uganda, and we donate them. And then too, we also have another activity now for the authors, for the publishers. Now, one of the functions, one of our activities that we do as we try to see that we exercise our mandate is there is what we call ISBN.
Yes.
International Standard Book Number. This is a unique number that is assigned to every publication that is produced. Of course, there are different types, because we have different types of publication. You have a book, you have a film or a video, you have a magazine. So we have different types of numbers. But this being a word book, this being a book. So let me talk about an ISBN, which is International Standard Book Number, that is uniquely assigned to your publications so that it can uniquely be identified. Just like your NIN number in your national ID.
So it's the number used to identify that specific publication.
That specific
worldwide.
publication worldwide. And why is this? Of course, this is to ensure that the documented heritage we collect is standardized and is visible the world over. And two, it also helps the authors when it comes to at least tracking their production output, because the moment you enter that ISBN, automatically it brings all the other bibliographic details, the author, the title, if it is an edition. And also for marketing purposes, because libraries, the general public, when they are procuring these books, we always enter that number rather than entering the name of the author, because names can be shared by many people. A title, you can have different title, but with that ISBN, it is just very unique to that particular book.
Okay. And as we're coming, of course, close to this, what are some of the challenges? Because I'm pretty sure you do have some of these. While you're trying as much to execute your duties and also fulfill your mandate as the NLU, what are some of those major challenges that you're facing?
Of course, the challenges are related to what we do. In addition to that ISBN, maybe before I talk about the challenges,
yes, please.
There is what we call the legal depots. Because if Ugandans are writing, and we are saying as a nation, we are responsible to ensure that we keep this that has been written and preserve it for Ugandans at all levels. So there is what we call the legal depots, which is a requirement that what you produce, what you publish, at the end of the day, you are supposed to go deposit. And the legal depots turn up has really not been all that good, because Ugandans are in a way are not complying to this provision that is supposed to ensure that we have this. And the challenges now related to this is one, is that we are talking about the reading culture. When you say reading culture, then you must have what to read, not just reading anything.
I knew the reading culture would be one of the biggest problems.
So that's why we are saying we need to have the books. And you cannot have the books if you don't have those who produce them. And you cannot have the people read, communities read, if they don't have where to read from. So when it comes to the available spaces, particularly those for the general public, what we call the public and the community libraries, you realize these are not in favorable state.
Yes.
The public libraries, which are within the local governments, the community library, which are established by individuals like you, like me. And so the environment, I think it is a challenge that we need. That's why many people now are just going to social media.
Yes, where they feel like
To Google,
yeah,
when actually
they can access.
they can access. But we are saying that is one of the challenges. And of course, the reason why the infrastructure is that way is the funding. That not only in government, even in the private sector, even in our homes, we have not prioritized the importance of information, of knowledge, of libraries. And therefore, when it comes to budgeting, to funding, you find that becomes a priority. So inadequate funding to enable us be able to have this minimum infrastructure, to be able to organize some of these reading related activities, even buying a book. You can ask, maybe in one forest, you'll ask Ugandans how many parents always buy at least a general reading book for their children. They always buy
unless the schools have recommended education.
I'm buying mathematics, I'm buying physics because I want my daughter, my son
to pass. Yes.
Yeah. Yet, in order for you to conceptualize, you need that general reading.
Very true.
The reason why you always see urban schools are performing well compared to the rural areas, simply because in the town you have a lot to read.
Yes.
There is a newspaper, there is social media, there
and
is
the accessibility
TV,
as well.
Accessibility to the facilities, which are not available.
The same story in the rural areas. Okay. Well, as we come to the end of this discussion, Adonia, what are your final shots? As of course now we are headed towards that. What would you tell a Ugandan there who has not yet embraced the culture of reading?
What I tell Ugandans is that just like in agriculture they say obugaga buli mutaka. That's what the Muganda says. Now we say reading is power. When you read, you are informed, and the moment you are informed, then you become knowledgeable. So if you look at the celebration for this year, because we always have an international theme, the international theme was reading to read to promote self-transformation. Now, as a nation, we also come up with a national theme, which is libraries connecting community transformation.
Yes.
And therefore, when you read, you become empowered, and therefore, whatever endeavor you are trying to have, you'll find that you have knowledge about it and you have it. And then lastly, of course, calling upon Ugandans to come and be part of these celebrations. Like I said, we were supposed to have these activities I've mentioned today, but because of ED, our sisters and brothers, we have been forced to push this activity to Tuesday. And it's going to happen at the National Library of Uganda, which is located on Buganda Road.
Well, thank you so much for that information. And at the end of the day, what we're looking at is we read to ensure that we transform ourselves as a country, as different communities. Well, that is Adonia Katuncha, the Director, National Library of Uganda. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully, Ugandans can actually turn out and be part of these activities. Well, just to take you through some of our stories in the Daily Nation and the Citizen, what is happening? What is making news over there? Well, I will tell you that the Daily Nation chip unga puzzle, it's still there, and tough new rules to boost safety in schools, and Ruto Raila teams lay the groundwork for bipartisan talks. And looking at the Citizen, Moody's gives Tanzania favorable credit rating. Minister allays fears over safety of Tanzanians in conflict-hit Sudan, and government mulls fund to ease state entities' capital woes. So grab yourself a copy of the Daily Nation and the Citizen as we go by. Well, we did promise that we'll be giving you a live coverage of what is actually happening, especially now that we are celebrating the Eid celebrations. We are having the Eid al-Fitr celebrations here in Uganda, and we did promise you that we'll be giving you a live coverage of Old Kampala Mosque, where the national prayers will be held this Friday. So we'll go for a break. When we get back, we'll be looking more into that. Good morning.
This is Good Morning Uganda.
وسلم تسليما كثيرا. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله